Today's guest is someone who truly embodies community sport. He runs, he rides, he speed golfs. Yes, speed golfs. And somehow still finds time to lead, organize, and inspire others. If you've ever been to parkrun in Whangarei, chances are you've seen him in action. Not just running, but directing, encouraging, and quietly making the whole thing happen. He's the club captain of Hatea Run, organizer of events like the Hatea Grand Prix, a masters athlete, and recently mastermind behind the successful parkrun relay record attempt. Denis Langford, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Justin, for having me.
For those who don't know you yet, how would you describe your sporting identity?
Oh, my sporting identity. Oh, easy. I've been that kind of jack of all trades kind of thing, never excelling in one thing probably, but I just love just turning my hand over anything. Running, cycling, speed golf. And it's been, I've just loved doing anything sport, following it, etc. Things like that. That's just me. Yeah, I just so embodied with sport.
Do you remember the moment you realized sport was going to be a lifelong thing for you?
Yeah, I do. When we immigrated to New Zealand in 1982, we sort of settled down in Whangārei, and Whangārei Primary had a house competition, and you put in a house and you compete for points in various sports, and I found pretty much then that I totally thoroughly enjoyed just doing all these sporting events. And I think from there it launched, and I haven't looked back since. Really, sport is just massive for me.
Running, cycling, speed golf, which came first, and which surprised you the most?
Definitely running came first. I was always at school a bit of a sprinter, so long distance hadn't really kicked in at this point. So sprinting was the first. I did a paper run and a herald run, advocate and a paper run when I was growing up. So I was on the bike every day, and as we know, back in those days there was no internet and things like that. So basically, after school, we just jumped on bikes and disappeared into the forest or go and find some jumps, etc. And street lights come on, we come home. And then golf was something that at the time was slow golf, because I hadn't really heard of speed golf at this point. So golf was just basically just the last of the three, really.
So let's talk speed golf. What is it, and how did you get into it?
Speed golf. So we got a couple of runners at Hatea, the Mills boys, Damien and Jake, and as you say, a lot of us are on Strava. They'd always post these golf rounds that were really fast. So I did ask them one day and said, "What is this?" And they told me. And I tried to convince them to do an open day, like on a Sunday up at Sherwood, and a whole lot of other Hatea members came along, and we went up there. And trying to play golf while running when we first try it was really, really hard. And trying to get your heart rate down and hit the shot, then run again. Because with speed golf, it's you've got your run time and your shooting time, your gross time, and you combine them together, and that is your final score. There is no handicaps. It's just basically if you run fast and you play golf, you're good. Sometimes you can play golf and not run fast, but over time, it's have got better. Sometimes my scores don't reflect this, but it is fun. It's one with speed golf. I find that when I go out and do a training session, my anaerobic is really working hard there. You know, your aerobic and anaerobic. Anaerobic's the key one, and anaerobic's just ticking over. It is fun. It's cool doing it.
So it's a really intense session then, isn't it?
Yes.
What skills from running and cycling translate into speed golf?
Definitely have to be just running. With speed golf, you've got a lot of intervals. So you basically hit your ball and then you run like 200 meters, 250, whatever, to the ball. So you don't want to go too fast because you'll get there and absolutely be spent. And you've got to do this sometimes over 80 times through a round. So it's a lot of interval training. So that's a good way of training, is go down to a field and do a bit of training, like just run 200 meters, then stop, and then run 200 meters and stop, like that, because it does get your heart rate up and down. I do like to walk within about a couple of meters of the ball just to try and get that heart rate back down. But yeah, it is intense, and trying to combine golf and running, it is fun, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it at the moment, and hopefully trying to qualify for the New Zealand Worlds team that will be played in Auckland at the end of this year. So that's my goal for this year.
Fabulous. So you walk a little bit towards that ball just to get your heart rate down, because obviously you've got to focus on also playing a good golf swing. getting that ball.
Yeah, you do. You haven't got much time because you can't. You basically got to work out what you're going to do as you're running into the ball. You're looking at your shot. You've chosen your club, so then you have a little breather. Then you just basically down and hit. You don't sort of look at the lines. You've got to do all that while running to the ball. It's got to be, your decision's got to be made. So it's quick fire, bang, bang, bang.
So you're preparing yourself mentally for hitting that ball and where you got to get it.
Yes, definitely, most definitely, yes.
Be honest. How many people look at you strangely when you explain it?
A lot. The funny thing I find is when I come off the 18th because speed golf, you've got to go early in the morning because you've got to get ahead of the big groups. So it means teeing off at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning. And you come off the 18th and you're dripping with sweat and the people just stare at you. And the question I always get is, how long did that take? Did you do 18 holes? And I say, yeah, it took me about 15 minutes. And for golfers who walk or in golf carts, that's the bit, the jaw drops, like 50 minutes. And that's it. You don't normally tell about the score because that probably upset them. But yeah, it is quite funny. You get a lot of jaw dropping.
Let's talk a bit about your parkrun and your community leadership there. How did you first get involved with parkrun?
First got involved in parkrun. I was lucky enough to be there on day one. I'm one of the originals. I think we had 60 odd, and I'm one of that 60. And I heard it was coming along, parkrun, and I thought, oh, this would be cool. Because at this point, I was doing a lot of athletics, and I found 1,500 meters too far. So I was thinking, okay, how am I going to do 5K? So I got into a bit of Hatea running leading up to it, and then when the first event came along, I was like, ooh, straight in there. And as you say, it was nice being there on day one. Haven't looked back since.
What's it like being a run director? What don't people see behind the scenes?
Yeah, parkrun. Yeah, there are a lot of with the run directors. We do have meetings, etc. Regarding moving forward. At the moment, recently we've had quite a big influx of people turning up at parkrun. I mean, we're hitting 500 for the last 4 weeks. I think we've been like second highest in the country, to Hadley Park, and that's saying something for just Whangarei. So you've got things of crossovers, keep left, and we look at changing the course direction a couple of times, and now we're looking at obviously bringing different start points possibly, and a few other things like crossovers down the far end at the first turn. So we're all constantly talking, and then, as you say, a lot of people don't see all this. People lucky enough to turn up and just run. Run directing is fun. Standing up there. My first day of run directing, and I stand up there and there's probably maybe 200 people. Yeah, it was a bit. It was nervous for me who likes talking, but now I just totally love it. To me, I love to get up there 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I just love the whole, not so much the power of it, but it is quite cool. Like, hey, I'm running this event. And we've got such a cool group of event directors, Ron and Martin and all the crew. We're lucky. We're very lucky at Whangarei.
Yes, and then all the volunteers that come along and support as well. It's fabulous.
It is.
Why do you think parkrun works so well for so many different people?
Parkrun runs so well because it's, again, as we always say, it's not a race. The only person, if you are racing, is yourself and your achievements. So you can come along and you walk. Some people say, "Oh, I'll be too slow. They'll be waiting for me." No, there's always someone at the back behind you, and you can turn up and you can jog one day. You can go fast one week. Sorry, and you can run with friends. And the thing what I also like about parkruns is it's global. And what we do as a club now, Hatea, another thing I organised, we do away trips down to Auckland. And as it's free to enter, all you got to do is get yourself there. And we go away and we do Auckland away trips every month or so, which we're going to be getting back into again very shortly. And it's cool. You get to go down there and see how other people do things. And it doesn't matter if you, as you say, you walk, you run, you all finish, and you all end up at the coffee shop at the end together. And nice. It's really good.
And you never lost because there's a volunteer that will do that for you.
100%.
Any memorable parkrun moments that still make you smile?
Oh yeah, milestones, as in you hit your first 50, then you hit 100, and then you really get the bug, and then then the next one's 250, which I've passed, and then now I've got to 300, but there is no milestone, but it's a personal milestone. Next one's 500 for me, which is quite a way away, but I'm already looking for that because it's a blue top, the milestone, and that is my favourite colour, so that's driving me. And the other big one would have to be doing Bushy Park in England, the home of parkrun. It's where it all started. There was over 1,000 people the day we did it, and it was just, yeah, an eye-opener. And just to have that thing of, I've done Bushy Park. Yeah, it's so cool.
Nice one to tick off the to-do list.
Definitely.
Let's talk a little bit about Hatea Run Group and your role as captain there. What makes the Hatea Run Group special?
Oh, the range of people we have there. We have over 100 members at Hatea, and I did speak to someone in the gym a couple of months back, and he was a Hatea member a long time ago, long time ago, and we were talking about it, and he was saying, "What are your numbers now?" And I told him we're well over 100, and he only had 20 at the days. It's grown so much, and it's grown so much that we've got a range from walkers. I mean, even Steve, the blind guy, he's a Hatea member. And he comes to parkrun. The VI guides do that with him, so he's part of our club, and we go right through from elites at the end, and we've got social members, which we have probably mostly social members in the club, and it's just the people are what make the club, and that's hence why, as you say, I love Hatea. It's just so cool.
As club captain, what's more important to you, performance or participation?
Oh, the hard one. It definitely was performance. But with obviously my knee, etc., and I've dialed it back a little bit. I'd say it's pretty 50-50 now. I do like giving back as well, so it's definitely a 50-50 now. But I do occasionally like to look at the performance side occasionally.
Yeah. How do you keep a running group inclusive while still motivating people to improve?
Yeah. Well, there are a view that the perspective of the running group is just for the elites, but at Hatea, it's not. It ranges, as you say, from walkers to runners and elite runners, which we have going off and representing in high events. But yeah, it's really good. This is the events we have, which is open to everybody, which obviously we might touch on soon regarding some of the competitions we do. It's open for everybody, and as you say, we get people turning up at Hatea on Wednesday nights, wanting to see what we're all about. And within a couple of weeks, they've signed because they just love it. And it's for everybody, absolutely everybody.
Yeah, from my own experience in the early days, I was hesitant to join the group because I thought, oh, that's for the elite guys. And when I did go along to one of those events and saw that there were different groups would go out at different paces, and I found a group that I could fit in, and I felt so welcome. And the other great thing is that you get to chat with the more experienced runners, and you get so much to learn from them.
Yeah,
Which were really inspired.
Yeah, it is good. It's good with the groups. Yeah, as you say, you can just pick a group. Glenbean Forest runs. There's like 5 or 6 different groups go different directions, and you pick your group that you can run with, and no one's ever left behind. You run as a group.
What inspired you to organise the Hatea Grand Prix?
Oh, well, I made a little bit of a tricky scoring system for it, and I've been doing it for about 5 years or 6 years, and we've played around with it a bit. With bonus points and etc. So it's designed that you might be the fastest runner, but you might not win the trophy because there's bonus points, etc. and all this. So we've had it recently in the last couple of years that the person in the women's event hasn't been the one who's won all the races. It's the one who's been very cunning. And this is it. So it's a bit of a handicap race, but it's fair for everybody. And this is what I think why we get such huge numbers, because people think, and the scoring system's higher, which basically a lot of people see how much points they're getting. And they're like, wow. And you see, when you look down, instead of seeing 5 points, you've got like 70. I know Cora, my wife, likes it. She sees a high number. And again, I just like putting into these events, and it's one of those things. It's like mine, like the summer solstice. Martin got the idea, and then I've run with it, and I think I do a pretty good job at both of them. So, why change?
Yeah, you sure do, and it's definitely attracting the numbers. Also, with the Hatea Grand Prix, it's kind of a lead up as part of a training to help encourage people for the 10K of the Beach to Basin.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we do 5 Wednesdays on the trot, and the final Wednesday being 4 days before the Beach to Basin. So it's pretty cool that does. We work it in that way, depending what time the Beach to Basin starts. This year, the Beach to Basin is a little bit later, so we were able to start a little bit later once school went back. So it's quite good. So yeah, it's a cool system, and hopefully we'll help a few people towards the Beach to Basin at the end.
Yeah, definitely help improve their fitness. What's the hardest part of putting a successful running event together?
I'd say probably getting all the volunteers to help. You can run these events by yourself, but it's always good having people to help out. And we're lucky at Hatea that as soon as I put the call out for people to volunteer, etc., I get them straight away. You know, a prime example was this one coming up, and I thank all the volunteers who helped. But Nick Wizzing, he's an elite runner, and he just turned up and says, "Oh, do you need help?" And I thought he would want to run, but he said, "No, I'll help a volunteer." And that's just shows you at the club. It's like, wow, one of the elite runners is basically willing to help out and volunteer. And that's it. And designing the course, I had a bit of a play around with the course this year because they created a car park camper van thing over the far side, which took out a big chunk of it. But I redesigned the course, and all the feedback I got was they loved it better. They loved it more than the one before, and it was pretty close to 5K, where last year's one was just under 5K. So yeah, again, another tick, I think.
That's fabulous. We have a lot of international listeners, people in the United States, the UK, all over, that might be listening to this and thinking, wow, wouldn't that be cool if we could do something like that in our area? What advice would you give someone thinking of that, of starting a local event? What advice would you give them?
Oh, groundwork for sure. Have a look to see where you can do it, and then get yourself a good crew. Get yourself, as I said before, you can do it on your own, but if you've got help to do various things, it does help a lot. And again, as I said before, we're lucky at Hatea that we have the numbers and the people to help. I never struggle with numbers. So that's a good way of building it, is building a good team, and obviously finding a good location. And yeah, you shouldn't look back after that. It's people make it, definitely.
Congratulations, you're doing an awesome job with the Hatea as captain.
Thank you.
You've competed in Masters Athletics. What has that experience been?
It's been cool. I was waiting. I want to get back into it, that's for sure. I was waiting until I hit 50 because I love throwing events. Javelin and discus were my favorite, and I'm throwing the equivalent of the Olympic weights at the moment. When you hit 50, the weights drop. So that's going to be a big tip. That's bringing me back. I've been lucky enough to go to places like Bendigo and represent New Zealand in the Masters. I was at the Master Games in 2017, picked up 2 medals in that. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time over all that. I used to be a sprinter, but I don't think my knee would allow that now. But probably one of the hardest things I've ever done at Masters Athletics was I did a decathlon, which is those 10 events. And I did a triathlon about a week before, which is hard enough. But after doing the decathlon, yeah, that was probably one of the hardest sporting events I've ever done. But it was a bit sore for a while after that. But to do it, and Masters Athletics is just so cool because you're in an age bracket. You're competing with everybody, but you're in an age bracket, and that's your competition, which I love, absolutely love. And the people, just wow, I miss all the people.
How's your approach to training changed over the years?
Oh, it has. It's changed a lot. The knee has been a bit of the issue with the changes. I've had to, obviously, I used to love doing half marathons and a bit of trail runs, but and the speed golf has been quite a good thing for me. Is with speed golf being on grass, it's a softer surface, and it's only 7K at max normally. So a lot of my focus has gone towards just shorter stuff. Parkrun will always be parkrun for me. That's probably tick number one. But yeah, so with injuries, you've got to adapt, and obviously, as you get a bit older, you just sort of think, okay, I'm gonna still keep going, but I'm just going to be a bit more careful of how I do things. And once I get back into athletics, I have to obviously, probably do a bit more upper body strength for the throwing events again, because that does give you some whip with the javelin and the discus. So yeah, probably about that.
What's the biggest myth about aging in endurance sport?
No, numbers, just an age. It's just an age. We all get older, and as you say, with endurance, you just need to dial it back a bit. I think it's something that I hear a lot of people talking about. It's like, I'm too old, etc., and things like that. I can't do it, but you just got to keep going and just maybe dial it back a bit. If you used to do marathons all the time and it's starting to get a bit harder, half marathons. And as you say, the age thing is, we've got a lot of people. Colin Thorpe is 101 years old and was still doing parkrun. So yeah, it's a myth.
Yeah, it's never too late, as you say. Though, just dial it back a bit, but still enjoy it. You can still do it.
Yes.
So if you're out there thinking, I'm too old to do this, you're not. There's too many examples of people who are doing it. Let's talk a bit about the parkrun relay record attempt. You were behind that and you organised everything. Where did the idea for the parkrun relay record attempt come from?
Right. I think in 2019, I think it was a Brightstone, I think it was, parkrun in South Africa. They did it. They wanted to see if they could beat the current individual record, which was 13:48 at the time. They did it, and they did 13:28:21, I think it was. So I started looking at the course around parkrun and measuring up, and then unfortunately a little thing called COVID kicked in. And that shelved that idea. And Corin, my wife, was talking to someone, a lady, about it and said, you guys were keen on it once. And I thought, let's give this a go. So I happened to remark the course, and obviously we've got 2 turnarounds on our point. So it's to get 5K over that, etc. And for the turnarounds, it was a bit tricky, but I got a lot of encouragement from people saying, "Oh, I'll do it." And so I got a team of 15, and away we went, and we cracked it, and we did 13:28:14, which was thousandths of a second just under. So pretty much we're on par with them, I think, is the best way of looking at it. But it was so fun doing it. Absolutely so fun doing it.
You made a video of it, and wondering if we'd be able to show some snippets of that with this podcast episode that we put out. Do you think that would be possible?
Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah, of course it would be. Yeah, I did it from a bike because on the day we had people at the turnarounds. I was on the bike. The only thing that failed on the day was we had the watch on the baton and it got touched, which was cool. But we had so many people timing it. We had parkrun timing and all this. So, I mean, it was legit. But yeah, we had cameras, people filming all over the place, and it was a really good event. It was really cool.
It's really a great watch, and I'm sure people will enjoy watching it.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Bryanston is the parkrun in just north of Johannesburg that originally set up that original one. One of the run directors made contact with them. What was their response?
Yeah, they were over the moon that someone else had a crack at it, and yeah, we sent them, as you say, we sent them the video, and yeah, as you say, they were hoping the same as what we're hoping, that other people, other parkruns, etc., will give it a crack. We're hoping some other New Zealand ones will do it. But yeah, as you say, to be, so close, it was, we were already thinking of having another crack at some point, but I'd like someone else to have another go at it as well. It would be nice if the bar got lowered again. So yeah, you can definitely, it's definitely something from the pipeline to go again.
What made it successful? Hanging people, or was it a bit of chaos?
It was pretty much everything, really. It was getting the 15 runners, and then I had a lot of other people who wanted to run, so you probably could have made 2 teams. Getting volunteers to stay at the changeovers, and we had a few people out there just letting people know there was fast runners coming, because I can't say much when I was on the bike behind the runner. And then, and parkrun starts at 8 here in New Zealand. We started at 7:15, but a lot of people from parkrun came down because they heard about it. And one of my friends who was over at turnaround 3, exchange 3, on the other side of the river, once the hooter went to the start, you could hear the cheering at the parkrun area, and then it went quiet, and then it got to the top of the bridge and you heard the cheering again because there was a whole lot of people up there, and it was the public that came down. Whangārei parkrunners came down to support it, and it was really, really good.
What did they show you about the power of community?
Oh yeah, it was an eye-opener. I go back and watch that video occasionally and just look at just how many people we had there, how many people from Whangārei Parkrun came up early to watch it, and it just shows you. And I'm a bit biased here. We have got a really good community at Whangārei Parkrun. I love it. I love it so much. It's such a good net. Probably because we've got one parkrun maybe in Whangarei. It's really, really, really it makes you proud. Really, it does make you proud.
Yeah, very supportive, great community. What motivates you more these days, setting goals or helping others achieve theirs?
Yeah, with the speed golf now, it's definitely setting goals for me at the moment. Probably if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably like to help a lot of other people. I do it at parkrun occasionally. If someone pops up and says, "Oh, I want to do a 25-minute or a 24-minute," which is still in my comfortable zone, I will do it. I will just give up what I'm doing. If I was thinking of going for a fast parkrun, I'll be like, "No, I'll pace you." And I'll do that. But yeah, I suppose with the speed golf now, trying to get better at that, trying to qualify for this team. It's like, yeah.
All the best with your qualification.
Thank you.
We got your back.
Thank you.
What's your favourite session? Long run, tempo, hills, or something on a bike?
Yeah, probably a bit of tempo at the moment. A little bit of tempo, I'd say, and maybe a couple occasionally. I'd put a couple of sprints just to, if I'm down on the grass somewhere, I'll just do like a couple of 200-meter dashes. Again, not at full pace because I don't really want to be doing that on the course. Just like maybe 70%. But yeah, but tempos. I do enjoy tempo runs. Definitely tempo runs.
Look at this. One piece of advice for someone who thinks they're too old or too slow to start?
Oh, never too old, never too slow. As you say, parkrun is a good place to come down and start. I love seeing down a parkrun of people who first turned up there on the first day and they were like just walking and plodding, and then now you see where they are. They're fully in it, and they're and obviously with, like, for example, parkruns being all over the world. You know, they go off and we do it. You plan a holiday and then you see what parkruns you can do while you're on holiday. And as you say, never too old. As you say, you just got to keep going, keep ticking it over, keep moving. You know, it's, as you say, for example, parkrun 5K further than sitting on the couch, and just keep ticking it over slowly, quickly, however you want to do it.
Yeah, awesome. If sport disappeared tomorrow, what would you miss most?
Oh, sport is a massive part of my life. This would be, yeah, I'd take a few days to sort of try and figure this out. But yeah, I mean, from following it to playing it to doing everything, sport is huge for me. I'd probably become a professional metal detector. I don't know, do that. I do love doing that. But yeah, it still wouldn't stop me. I would still find an avenue to keep on going. So, but yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Is there anything else on your heart that you'd like to share with the listeners today?
No, just with all this, just with the master stuff, just keep on going. I say it's, you know, you're never too old, and that's the big key. If you keep on moving, you keep on doing something, yeah, it just you'll be happier for it. I know I am. You know, with my knee, I still keep on taking it over, and you know, one foot in front of the other, you can't go wrong.
Denis, thank you for everything you do, not just for running fast and racing hard, but for building a community where people feel welcome, supported, and inspired to give things a go. You're proof that sport doesn't have to be loud to be impactful, and that leadership often shows up in high-vis vests, early mornings, and quiet consistency. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at Parkrun.
Thank you for having me.